All right, welcome in the High and Tight, everybody. This is a pure adrenaline sports podcast that will be covering Major League Baseball. So the Mets were rained out today, postponed until tomorrow. So we'll look at today's upcoming schedule. But will be a show that will be powered by the fans. So hopefully to get some of you guys on the show as well. But we'll get into today's schedule, look at where we project the division standings and everything. I know we're about we're about an hour away from first pitch on opening day. So we'll see. While we wait for some people to hop in, let's take a look to see today's schedule. Trent is here. What's up, Trent? How are you today? Welcome in. Very first episode of podcast we're calling High and Tight. We're going to cover Major League Baseball here. Hopefully get one of these shows out every week. But welcome in, Trent, saying let's go Cardinals. Trent, I'll be covering the Cardinals and Dodgers, so hopefully you come back for that. Hey, RC is here. What's up, RC? I'm hitting the like button. Thank you so much, guys. So once we start growing this thing, I'm going to have you guys, if you guys want to, you guys can come on the channel with me, talk about whatever the topic of conversation is, or anything baseball related as well. So let me just come over and pin that. Can I pin that from here? No, let me go over to YouTube and do that here. Let me come over and do that here. Pin message. There we go. Okay. You guys, if you guys are able or want to, you can join the show. Do you think Ohtani will get in trouble? Ooh, that's a big one. We're jumping right in there, thanks to Trent. First off, what do you guys think? I did watch his press conference. I took some notes. There's some things I don't believe him on. Not that I don't believe him, but some things I have questions about. With that amount of money being transferred, if Ohtani didn't know, why would he give somebody access? Why would he give somebody access to transfer those amounts of money without his approval? Trent says, "I think he's gambling." I do too. I do too. And I think MLB is going to do whatever they can to cover it up, unfortunately. So let's take a look. Let's take a look while we wait for some more people to hop in. Keep the comments coming, though. Really appreciate it. Today's now, because the Mets were rained out today, I will be covering the Mets and Brewers tomorrow. At 3 o'clock here, we got the Angels and Orioles. Our buddy Orioles Birdwatcher will be covering that one. Right now, they have not canceled that game. It is raining in Baltimore, but they have not canceled it. The Nationals and the Reds. At 4 o'clock, the Giants and Padres at 4. The Cardinals and Dodgers as well. We will be covering that one here on the channel. Toronto and Tampa Bay as well. A lot of 4 o'clock games today. Minnesota and Kansas City. Detroit and the White Sox, Pittsburgh and Miami, the Yankees and Astros. We will be covering the Yankees and Astros tomorrow night. It's the Apple TV game, so we'll be doing that one. Then tonight at 7:30, we have the Cubs against the Rangers. Then a bunch of 10 o'clock games. We got Cleveland, the Guardians against the A's, the Rockies and Diamondbacks. We will be covering that one as well. Boston and Seattle, our buddy Thomas Fitzpatrick will be doing that game over on his channel tonight. And then the Brewers and Mets were postponed, as well as the Braves and Phillies. Trent says, even though I'm a Cardinals fan, Pete Rose was one of the best hitters in baseball, if not the best, and he got banned for how fair is that? Well, they're still doing investigations, so we got to let the investigations play out. But from what, like I said, from watching the press conference, I didn't believe Ohtani. RC says, when do your Mets play? Unfortunately, not till tomorrow now. They got rained out today. It is absolutely pouring in New York City today. So, once again, we will be covering the Cardinals and Dodgers at 4 o'clock. Michaelis against Glasnow. Glasnow getting his oh, no, it's not his first start. Did he start one of the games over in Korea? He must have, because he's got a 3.60 ERA with 3 strikeouts. So let's go. Let's look at some of the standings and where I think each team will finish in their division. I'm not going to do wins over and under, but if you guys have comments, I will absolutely answer any comments. In the American League East, Trent says, "What are your thoughts on the salary cap in baseball?" I don't know if they necessarily need a cap as per se, but I think they need to have a floor. Teams make it so teams have to spend a certain amount of money. An example of this is the Oakland A's are the 7th most profitable team in baseball and hardly spend any money. That needs to change. If you don't spend over a certain amount at that floor, you don't get any of the. I don't think teams should be awarded any of the money of the team spending over that limit. But that's my thought. RC says it's funny how the Otani gambling news breaks a little while after he signs a 10-year, $700 million deal. Trent says, yeah, the Oakland A's owner is horrible and cheap. Yep. And cheap. So let's take a look here. In the American League East, I got the Orioles winning the division. I think this team, the only question is the closer role right now. So, but I still expect them to win about 95 games and win the division. And then in second place, I think it's going to be close. I think it's going to be either Tampa Bay or Toronto for second place in the division. I don't know. The problem is if you start counting Tampa Bay out, that's when they just don't go away. RC says, any surprise teams you think you should be on the lookout for? Yeah, we'll get there. So I got those teams that sitting at 2 and 3, could go either way, depending on how things go. And depending on how things go, I do expect one of those two teams, whoever finishes second in the division, to get one of the wild card spots as well. I have the Yankees finishing 4th in the division, depending on how bad the Cole situation is. If Cole's out much more than the month or month and a half he's out now, the Yankees will be, would they win 82 games last year? They'll be about that same mark without Garrett Cole this year. And the Red Sox, I don't think the Red Sox did enough. They'll be about that 500 mark as well, but they're going to finish last in the division. So there's that. Then we get to the American League Central. Right now, the Minnesota Twins still have to be the favorite in that division, right? The Guardians didn't do enough to catch them. The Tigers are still doing it the right way and building up. Kansas City's doing it the right way and building it up. But the White Sox are going to be bad. So I got the Twins winning the division. I have the Tigers second, the Guardians third, the Royals fourth, and the White Sox last in that division. And with only the Twins making the playoffs out of that division. All right, then we get out to the American League West. I still have the Astros winning the division. But then I have the Texas Rangers finishing second and the Seattle Mariners finishing third in that division. But I have the Rangers and I do have the Rangers and Mariners both getting wild card spots. So the American League playoff teams, let's see, we'll pick a team. We'll go with the Blue Jays because I said it's either going to be the Blue Jays or the Rays. That's what we'll go with there. And then we'll go Rangers and Mariners. So the 6 American League playoff teams will be the Orioles, Twins, Astros, Blue Jays, Rangers, and Mariners. RC says Chicago White Sox mirrored in a major funk. Yep, and they traded away a lot of pieces, so not looking good there in Chicago. So we'll see. So before we get to the National League, let's take a look here. We'll put the Rangers and Mariners in the wild card round, and then we'll get the Blue Jays and Astros. No, Blue Jays, because the Orioles and Astros will get the bye. So it'll be the Blue Jays and Twins. And I'm going to go with the Blue Jays. Blue Jays versus the Astros. And Baltimore against Seattle. So Texas getting eliminated. And then in the ALCS, I'm going to say it's going to be Baltimore and Houston. And I still don't know if Baltimore's got enough to overpower Houston. So I got the Astros going back to the World Series. So what do you guys think? 6 playoff teams from the American League: Orioles, Twins, and Astros win the divisions, and then Blue Jays, Rangers, and Mariners get the wild card. Breaking it down, it's the Orioles and Astros in the ALCS, with the Astros going to the World Series. So then that'll bring us to the National League. RC, I know you're hanging out in our chats, our live streams a lot. I don't know. Do you watch baseball, or do you root for a baseball team? Trent says, so I agree with you. RC says, Astros in the World Series, pure not again. I'm sorry. Honestly, they're the class of the American League. With the Orioles being a close second, and the only thing that's keeping it from being the Orioles this year is their bullpen, honestly. So that's going to be the only thing that takes it away from me. But let's get us into the National League now. Of course, I got the Atlanta Braves winning the National League East. They are above and beyond the best team in that division. Phillies, of course, finishing in second place in the division and making the wild card. My Mets will finish third. I don't want to say they'll be fighting for a wild card, but they'll finish 3, 4, 5 games out if everything goes right of a wild card spot. Then the Marlins finish fourth and the Nationals fifth. RC says, I do watch baseball whenever I can catch it. I'm a Minnesota Twins and Philadelphia Phillies fan. Gotcha. So that takes us to the National League Central. This one was tough for me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start at the bottom and work my way up. So at the bottom, right now, I still have the Pittsburgh Pirates being at the bottom of that division, but being a much better team. Then this might surprise some people. I have the Cincinnati Reds in fourth in the division. So then moving to third, I would have the Brewers in third, the Cubs in second, and I have the Cardinals with a rebound. After winning 71 games last year, they rebound, and they're going to win the National League Central this year. And let's see here. We're going to have to get another team from that division. So we're going to have to go with the Cubs winning the wild card. And that takes us out to the West. Oh, RC, what do we got, RC? RC says Texas won't be back. Astros sound like a logical choice. Although I'd like to see permanently temporary Baltimore Orioles get the World Series, or you also get Corman from the Brewers too. Yeah, yup. The thing that's going to do it for me, like I said though, for the Orioles is that bullpen. I don't think they have the bullpen to do it this year. Oh, because Batista's still out, right? I don't think he's coming back this year. But let's go to the National League West. The West, we do have the Dodgers will win the division. Barring any major injuries or anything, the Dodgers spent a ton of money in the offseason. Then second in that division will be Arizona. Arizona will make a wild card as well. So I got two teams from each division making it. I have the Giants finishing third, the Padres fourth, and the Rockies fifth. Rockies are going to be bad this year as well. So my six National League playoff teams will be Atlanta, St. Louis, and the Dodgers for the divisions, and then Philadelphia, Chicago, and Arizona. So I have Philadelphia playing Chicago in the first round. Philadelphia will win that. Arizona will play St. Louis, and St. Louis will win that. So it'll be, I'm going to mix it up this year. It's going to be the Dodgers and the Phillies against Atlanta and Arizona, which is then going to set us up for a Philadelphia and Atlanta NLCS. Hey, Lonely Satellite says happy opening day. Happy opening day to you as well. Welcome in. Let us know who your team is. RC says, yes. A bad bullpen normally catches up to you, especially in the long run. Yeah. Yep. So Philadelphia and Atlanta. I have Atlanta winning that series this time around. They break that slump of losing to Philadelphia in the playoffs. And then I have, this hurts to say as a Mets fan, I have the Atlanta Braves winning the World Series this year. So I have the Braves beating the Astros in the World Series. So what do you guys think of that? So let me come over and look already. You guys have hit that thumbs up already. We got 5 thumbs up on the stream. This will be available in podcast form afterwards as well. But one of the things I wanted to do with this podcast is on a weekly basis look at how each team is doing. I do have it broken all down by schedule for all the teams. So on a weekly basis, we can keep track of how teams are doing. Lonely Satellite says, I like all baseball, which I do as well, but I'm a Mets and Brewers fan. Very nice. I am a Mets fan as well. But my second team, I would have to say, are the Baltimore Orioles would be my second team. RC says, I'm still kicking the tires at the fact that the Phillies blew it to the Diamondbacks. Yes. Let's take a look here. Let me look at the Orioles for a second here. Kimbrel, that's who they got. I forgot that's who they signed was Kimbrel. And Kimbrel or I believe Kimbrel blew game 6 and 7 against Arizona last year, right? Philadelphia went home with a 3-2 lead and couldn't win a game at home. Let me take a look here at Twitter. Let me keep up to date to see if what's going on in Baltimore with the weather. Let's go over to the Orioles Twitter feed. 3 live streams coming up today. We have the Cardinals and Dodgers at 4 o'clock. Then back to some NHL action at 7 o'clock. We have the Flyers and Canadians tonight. And then tonight at 10 o'clock, we're back to baseball with the Diamondbacks and Rockies tonight as well. So let's see. Let's check out the Orioles Twitter feed. Let's see what they're saying. Birdland. All right. Well, the people at the ballpark, it doesn't look like it's raining too bad there. Lineup today, I was hoping to see Orioles bird watcher in here. Get him to talk a little bit about his Orioles today, since now they are the first game on opening day. But let's take a look at the lineups today. It'll be Rendon leading off for the Angels. Anybody else dislike Rendon as much as I do? The guy honestly hates the game of baseball. Doesn't play more than 60 games in a year. Says seasons are too long. I don't know. Then Hicks is in right field. Trout is in center. Ward in left. Drury at second. Chanul at first. Sano DHing. Ohape catching. And Nito at shortstop for the Angels. And for the Orioles, we have Gunnar Henderson leading off. I have it here somewhere. Still haven't decided what I'm going to do with it. I did get a Gunnar Henderson autographed rookie card from Topps. Numbered out of 50. Not sure if you guys can see it. Might use it as a channel giveaway later on in the season. Might send it out to get graded first. But we shall see. But Rushman will bat second, Mountcastle third, Santander cleanup. Hayes out in left field, Westberg DHing today, Mullins in center, Urias at third, and Mateo at second base. So let's look at the pitching matchups today. Sandoval against Burns. I expect Burns. I think Burns is going to have a huge year for Baltimore. Be right on that 20 win mark, and definitely in the conversation for Cy Young at the end of the year. Let's look at some Webb against Darvish, Michaelis against Glasnow in the game we'll be covering. Barrios against Eflin. Keller against Luzardo. Pittsburgh and Miami, that'll be a good matchup. Cortez against Valdez. Steele against Evaldi for the Cubs and Rangers. Bieber against Wood. Freeland against Gallen. So we'll wait for Oriole Birdwatcher to go live. I think he's going live at 2:30. When he goes live, we'll send everybody over there. 8 minutes away, it says. So let's take a look here. So Atlanta starts off with Philadelphia. Then they go to Chicago and back home for Arizona. Over the first week, Miami's got Pittsburgh. And I got to find a way to differentiate if it's the Dodgers or the Angels. My guess would be it's the Angels. Yeah, because I got the Dodgers here. Let's see who the Dodgers are playing their second series. San Francisco, yep. Then the Mets have Milwaukee. Then Detroit comes in, which is not good because the weather next week again looks bad for the New York area. So we're going to get lots of rain. I assume at least one of those games against the Tigers will get rained out. Philadelphia has Atlanta and then Cincinnati, and then they go down to Washington. Washington is in Cincinnati. Then they're back home for Pittsburgh and Philadelphia. The Cubs have the Rangers. Then they go. Then they come home for Colorado, Cincinnati, Washington, and Philadelphia. Juan Soto. What do I got going here? Oh, MVP award predictions. MLB.com or MLB Network is predicting Soto to win the American League MVP. Any guys have any thoughts on that? Oh, Corey's. Let's see what else we got going on here. Oh, here we go. We'll come over. I'm still setting some things up for the hitters. We'll take a look at who's hot, who's not each week on our podcast. Right now, only the Dodgers and Padres have played regular season games. That's why they're the only ones on the list. And I still got to set up all the pitchers yet. Oops, that's the Flyers game tonight. So let me come over and get Orioles Birdwatchers information so I can send people over to his stream. I do appreciate everybody that stopped in for this one. Trent, RC, somebody else was here. Lonely Satellite was here as well. Appreciate you guys stopping by the very first show. We'll see how this works out. Hopefully I get better at this as well, coming up with ideas to talk about if the chat's not going good. But leave a comment. Oh, I almost forgot. Also, we have where'd it go? Banners, high and tight podcast. There it is at the bottom. If you have a question or a comment for the show, you can leave a voicemail or a text. The phone number to do that is 570-534-4071. Your comments could be shared on the next podcast, so try to keep them clean. If you do leave a comment, we do appreciate that as well. Once again, our live stream's coming up today on opening day. We have the Cardinals and Dodgers at 4 o'clock, and then the Rockies and Diamondbacks at 10 o'clock Eastern time. And then sometime, let's see here, the way I have this set up for shows. So sometime like April 8th or so will be our next episode. and we'll be talking about how teams fared over their first 2 or 3 series of the season. So we'll see who's hot, who's not, both pitching and hitting. So good stuff. Waiting for Orioles Birdwatcher to go live. Let me see if I can set it up so when we ask, anybody that wants to go over there can go over. Customization, redirect, add. Orioles. Birdwatcher. Redirect privileges needed. Okay, we got to get him to set that up. But I'll get his channel. Comments, guys, over in the chat. I just put Orioles Birdwatcher. His channel. He's going to be doing the Orioles and Angels here in a couple minutes. Like I said, we will be live at 4 p.m. Eastern Time. So if you are new here, make sure you hit that subscribe button, that little notification bell, so you don't miss an episode or a live stream coming up. So we will see everybody next time.